Good morning or good afternoon to all our yogis around the world joining us for another week of yoga with Félix. Thank you so much for joining us. Donc, bonjour ou bon après-midi à tous ceux et celles qui se joignent à nous à travers tout le monde pour une autre semaine de yoga hebdomadaire avec Félix. Merci de vous joindre à nous aujourd'hui. So for this week, we're going to go through a 60-minute core focus flow, which is going to engage specifically the abdominals, the lower back, and the glute muscles. So as usual, please listen to your bodies throughout the entire flow and do not hesitate to come out of any painful poses to assume a more comfortable asana or pose before continuing the flow. Donc pour cette semaine, on va focuser sur la région abdominale avec un flow plus spécifique pour la région du tronc. Donc, on va aller engager spécifiquement les abdominaux, le bas du dos, ainsi que les muscles des fessiers. Donc, s'il vous plaît, soyez attentifs à votre corps tout au long de la session et n'hésitez surtout pas à sortir de poses qui peuvent être un peu plus difficiles ou douloureuses pour assumer un asana, une pose légèrement plus facile avant de continuer le flow. The only thing you need for this flow is your yoga mat and definitely a bottle of water. Donc, tout ce que vous avez besoin pour la session, ça va être votre tapis de yoga ainsi que certainement une bouteille d'eau aussi. All right, let's get started. So, have your legs crossed in your first asana of the day, Sukhasana or easy pose. Legs are crossed, knees are wide apart, and lastly, your hands can either be in the praying hands to heart position, they can be on top of the knees, in the receiving position, whatever feels natural. And finally, try to have the tallest posture, so trying to bring the crown of the head as close as you can to the ceiling. Chest is up. Chin is in, and we're just going to spend a few moments here internalizing awareness, focusing on our breath. And what this does is that it's going to ground ourselves for the next 60 minutes of yoga. So take deep breaths in through the nostrils. You can either close the eyes here, or you can choose to simply look down at the front of your mat. And as you're breathing in, the diaphragm lowers, the belly pushes out, maximizing the inhale. And as you exhale, I invite you to exhale slowly in at least a 4 to 5 second count. This is going to help you relax, internalize your awareness, being aware of your body, your mind, and your soul. So breathe in deeply, and as you're breathing here, you can assess how you're feeling today. Check in with yourself, both physically, mentally, maybe emotionally, try to set your intention that is going to guide you for the next 60 minutes. Donc, dans votre position Sukhasana, on apporte la tête vers le plafond, la poitrine vers le haut. On rentre le menton, on place les mains où elles sont le plus confortables. Position de prière ou simplement sur les genoux. Et je vous invite à aller vérifier avec vous-même, autant au niveau physique que mental, que peut-être aussi émotionnel. Et essayez de déterminer ou de sélectionner votre intention qui va vous guider lors de notre séquence de yoga axée sur les abdominaux. Et en pensant ceci, assurez-vous de bien inspirer par le nez, remplir les poumons complètement et d'expirer tranquillement en 4 à 5 secondes. And as you're thinking about your intention, let's start warming up the neck. Bring the right ear down to the right shoulder, actively lowering the left shoulder away, feeling that first stretch on the left side of the neck. And as you're keeping the right ear glued or as close as you can to the right shoulder, let's just bring the chin down to the chest and bring the chin all the way up to the ceiling. And on your own pace, keeping the right ear to the right, just moving the neck gently up and down. And bring it back to neutral. Le côté gauche maintenant, on apporte l'oreille gauche près de l'épaule gauche. On descend activement l'épaule droite pour bien sentir l'étirement du côté droit du cou. Et en gardant l'oreille gauche vers l'épaule gauche, on vient apporter le menton vers le bas. On apporte le menton vers le haut. Donc, par vous-même, prenez le temps ici et bougez à votre propre rythme en montant le menton et en descendant le menton. Et on rapporte le cou en position neutre. Moving on to warming up the shoulders now. Let's stretch out the arms to the side. Bring those fingertips up to the sky first, keeping the crown of the head up toward the sky. Finally, let's flip the palms of the hand up to the sky, bringing those in, touching the shoulders. And let's complete 3 large circles with the shoulders. Taking your time here, being mindful, moving with purpose, and trying to trace the largest circles possible, all the way back and all the way down. Opposite side now, donc la direction opposée, encore avec les doigts sur les épaules. On essaie de tracer des très 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 grands cercles ici avec les coudes. On va chercher loin dans les omoplates et on essaie d'apporter les coudes proches l'un de l'autre en avant. Et on relâche. Good. Placing the left hand down. Inhaling, reaching the right arm up to the sky. Inhale, reach up as high as you can. And as you exhale, we're going to side bend over towards the left. We can look up, gazing up to the sky here, opening up the right side of the spine. Feeling that stretch from the hips through the shoulder and the fingertips. If available to you, you can also see if you can drop on your elbow, but you have to make sure you're keeping your sit bones on the ground. If that's not possible, you're staying here. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, come on back. Opposite side, la main droite reste sur le tapis. On apporte la main gauche vers le plafond. On inspire, on essaie d'apporter les doigts vers le plafond. Et on expire et on penche vers le côté droit. On regarde vers le plafond, vers la gauche. Et on ressent ici le côté gauche du corps. Bien s'étirer des hanches jusqu'à l'épaule et jusqu'au doigt. Si c'est disponible, on peut même placer le coude droit au sol. Il faut s'assurer qu'on puisse garder les os du bassin bien appuyés contre le sol. N'oubliez pas de respirer profondément ici. On inspire et on expire et on revient en position du centre. Let's meet in our tabletop position. Do a couple more movements to make sure your spine is warmed up for today's flow. So from your tabletop position, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's move through a few rounds of cat-cows, inhaling, looking forward, not pinching at the neck, arching the lower back, feeling those muscles contract. And as you exhale, round through the spine, look towards your toes, tuck the navel in, and press the ground away, spreading out those shoulder blades. And on your own pace, move through these two positions. Donc on inspire dans la position du chameau, on regarde vers l'avant, on active bien les muscles du bas du dos. Et lors de l'expiration, on apporte la colonne vertébrale en flexion, on rentre le nombril, on contracte les abdominaux. On s'assure de bien pousser contre le sol avec les mains pour étirer les omoplates et les éloigner du centre du dos. Donc, je vous invite à bouger à votre propre rythme ici. Tant et aussi longtemps que la respiration est effectuée au bon moment. And after a few of these rounds, you can see if you can go a little bit deeper, hold it, owning the position, feeling the right muscles activate. And bring it back to neutral. And finally, let's add some rotation here. So with the left arm on the mat, we're going to take a big inhale and reach up to the sky. Trying to reach those fingertips up, looking up, retracting the shoulder on the right, opening up the chest. And on your exhale, let's thread the needle over towards the left, dropping the right shoulder on the ground. And holding for a few moments here. If available to you, you can bring the left hand behind the back, in between the shoulder blades, and gently press the right hand on the ground, trying to retract the left shoulder and find a nice twist in the spine. Inhale and exhale. Come on up. Other side, la main droite reste en appui contre le sol. On inspire, on apporte la main gauche vers le plafond. Le plus haut possible, on apporte les doigts vers le plafond. On rétracte l'omoplate gauche. Et lors de votre expiration, on apporte la main vers la droite. On dépose l'épaule gauche au sol. Et si c'est possible, on apporte la main droite derrière le dos, on place la main entre les omoplates. On s'assure que la tête est dans une position adéquate. Donc n'hésitez pas à la bouger pour la placer dans une meilleure position. Et finalement, on peut même appuyer un peu avec la main gauche vers le sol. On rétracte l'omoplate droite et on regarde vers le plafond.
On a trouvé notre rotation au niveau du tronc. On inspire. Et on expire, on place la main droite au sol. Et on revient dans la position de la table. Very good. Find your tabletop. Making sure it's symmetrical through the right and the left side. And let's move into balancing table pose. We're going to kick the right leg back. We're going to make sure that our hands are underneath our shoulders. Our toes on the right side are pointing down. Don't point to the back, point the toes down. Squeeze the glute on the right side. And finally making sure our leg is parallel to the ground. We should start to feel some activation from the right glute through the spine, engaging the core, making sure we're supporting our core with our abdominals. And finally, let's inhale and bring the left arm out to the front, looking down at our mats, balancing on two limbs here. Deepen the breath. We're going to start to feel some heat generate through the body as we're maintaining this position here. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, bring the knee into the elbow and squeeze the abdominals. Exhale fully. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, knee to elbow. Tuck the navel in, squeeze the abdominals. Start to feel that activation. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. And one final time. Inhale, reach out, hold it. And exhale, elbow to knee. And back to all fours. Switching sides. Le côté gauche maintenant. On vient porter la jambe gauche vers l'arrière. Commencez avec notre position de la table. Avec l'équilibre, on s'assure que les orteils du côté gauche sont pointés vers le tapis et non vers le derrière de la salle. Donc on pointe les orteils vers le sol. On active bien les muscles du fessier du côté gauche et de la cuisse. Pour trouver l'équilibre ici, on commence à sentir l'activation dans le corps, dans le tronc, et la chaleur commence à augmenter. Finalement, on apporte la main droite vers l'avant. On regarde vers le bas. Et encore une fois, trouver l'équilibre ici. Gardez la main droite et le pied gauche parallèle au sol. Sentez bien l'activation de la fesse gauche à travers le bas du dos jusqu'à l'épaule. Puis assurez-vous de contracter les abdominaux. On inspire et en expirant, on apporte le genou au coude à l'intérieur. On rentre le nombril et on active les abdominaux. On inspire, position de la table. Avec l'équilibre, on expire, on rentre et on vient toucher si possible le genou au coude. On inspire vers l'avant. On expire, genou au coude. Et une dernière fois, on inspire. Et on expire ici, genou au coude. On rentre le nombril. Contracte les abdominaux. Et on vient se replacer dans la position de la table. So back in your tabletop position now. Let's just shake it out. You can shake out the arms a little bit. Move the hips side to side. Take a few moments to recover the breath. We're feeling nice and warmed up. We're going to move into our second flow here. But if you wish to grab some water, now is a good time. Donc, si vous désirez prendre un peu d'eau, c'est un bon moment pour le faire. Making sure we're staying hydrated throughout this session. It's going to help us out. So if you're ready, we're going to place our hands shoulder width, spreading out those fingertips. We're going to find our first downward facing dog position of the day. So when you're down dog, hands are shoulder width. Try to keep the head in between the biceps. Try to bring your hips up to the ceiling. If you're finding tightness in the hamstrings, don't hesitate to bend in the knees. Trying to keep the back straight. And finally, since this is our first one, you can just take a bit of time here to try to walk your down dog. This means trying to place one heel down and then switching, trying to place the other heel down. Finally, come back to your downward facing dog. From down dog, we're going to transition into plank pose. First plank pose of the day. Shoulders above your wrists. Bring those elbows in, keeping a straight line from your heels through the spine, hips, and shoulders. And finally, keeping your elbows tucked in, we're going to slowly come down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Drop the feet and inhale up for your first baby cobra. Cobra, feet are shoulder width apart, glutes are activated, lower back is activated, shoulders are low and relaxed. And finally, your elbows stay slightly bent here and gently pressing the ground away, finding the extension in the spine. Inhale, press a little bit more. And exhale into downward facing dog. Rocket ship up. Dans la position chien tête en bas. Ici, les mains sur la largeur des épaules. On apporte les doigts le plus large que possible. On essaie de garder la tête entre les biceps ici. Le dos droit, le bassin vers le plafond. Et n'hésitez pas à plier les genoux si ça peut vous aider à apporter le bassin plus haut ici. On va regarder ça pendant quelques respirations. On peut même essayer de placer un talon au sol, placer l'autre talon au sol. Commencez à marcher votre chien. Et de la position chien tête en bas, on va se déplacer dans la position de planche. Une deuxième fois, les épaules par-dessus, les poignets, le dos bien droit, des talons à travers le bassin et le dos. Les épaules restent bien basses. Et finalement, on va venir apporter les coudes vers l'intérieur, descendre tranquillement, Chaturanga Dandasana, et on inspire, position Cobra pour une deuxième fois. Donc, les pieds largeur des épaules, les fessiers, le dos bien activé, on pousse avec les mains, puis on s'assure que les épaules restent bien basses. On inspire, on pousse et on expire, on descend en bas. Les mains sur les épaules, hands under your shoulders, and press on back to child's pose for just a few moments here. So child's pose Balasana. Knees can be either together or mat width apart with your big toes together. And finally, head all the way down to the mat. And you can place either the hands above the head, or you can either choose to keep the hands close to your body. Just a few moments here. Internalize the awareness. Bring the focus back on the breath. And you can also think back of your intention you had at the beginning of the flow here. Catching your breath. Finally, on your next inhale, you're going to come on up, place the hands back to shoulder width apart, spreading out those fingers. We're going to meet back in downward facing dog, just for a moment. From downward facing dog, we're going to place the left foot in the middle of the mat, And we're going to kick the right foot up for three-legged dog. So here, try to keep your hips squared. Try not to open up the hips to the side. Point the toes up. Don't hesitate to bend into that knee. Press the ground away. Look to the back of the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to bring the right knee close to the right elbow. And if you can, you're going to kiss the right knee to the right elbow. Squeezing the abs. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross the right knee and try to bring it close to or kiss the left elbow. Squeeze the abs. Keep the back straight, own the position. Inhale, up. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. And one final time. Inhale, point the toes up, three-legged dog, press the ground away, own the position. And exhale, cross over towards the left, squeeze the abs. Good, bring the foot back to the back, finding your plank pose, and elbows tucked in, slowly come down, chaturanga, and stay on the ground here. Good, catch your breath. Finally, from the prone position here, we're going to extend both arms out forward. We're going to find locust pose or shalabhasana. So keeping the chin down first, looking down at our mats. We're going to inhale and raise the right hand and the left foot. Opposite limbs. Inhale, bring it up. Point the toes in the back, squeeze the glute, bring the right hand off the ground as much as possible. And exhale back down. Switch sides. Inhale, left hand, right foot. And exhale back down. Inhale, switch sides. And as you're doing this, you're pressing the left hand and the right foot into the ground. Exhale back down. Inhale up. Hold it. Squeeze. Fill the belly. Exhale back down. One final time. Inhale up. As high up as you can. Press into the ground. Exhale back down. And finally, inhale up. And exhale back down. Very good. Place the hands underneath the shoulders and press on back up to downward facing dog. Let's complete the opposite side now. We're going to on va placer le pied droit au centre du tapis. On va l'apporter le pied gauche dans une position chien à trois pattes. Donc ici, on va prendre quelques secondes pour s'assurer d'être dans la bonne position. On pointe les orteils du pied gauche. On garde le bassin en position carrée, donc pas ouvert vers le côté. On regarde vers le derrière du tapis. On pousse avec les mains. On inspire. Et en expirant, on apporte le genou gauche tout près de le coude gauche. Et si possible, on touche le genou au coude. On contracte les abdominaux. Et on garde la position bien droite. On inspire, on revient en position chien tête en bas. Et on expire, on apporte le genou gauche vers la droite. Et si on peut, on rapproche ou on touche le genou gauche au coude droit. On inspire, chien à trois pattes. On expire, on apporte le genou gauche vers l'épaule gauche. Et dernière fois, on inspire, chien à trois pattes. Et en expirant, on apporte le genou gauche vers la droite. On tape les abdominaux. On replace le pied en position planche. Les mains en dessous des épaules. On garde les coudes vers soi. On reste avec moi ici. Et on descend tranquillement. jusqu'au sol et on relâche. Prenez votre souffle ici. On va apporter les deux mains vers l'avant. Et on va être dans notre position Shalabalasana complet cette fois-ci. Pour la première fois, on va faire avec les mains vers l'avant. On apporte le menton au sol en premier. Et en inspirant, on vient lever les pieds et les mains. Inhale up, bring the feet and the hands off the ground. Squeeze the glutes, bring the hands up. And exhale, on expire, on revient vers le sol. On inspire, on monte une deuxième fois. Inhale up. And exhale down. Expire, on descend. Une dernière fois, on inspire. Inhale up. And exhale all the way down. Finally, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders first. And now bring them all the way back and in line with your body. Apportez vos mains, on va les placer le long du corps, tout près des hanches. And we're going to go into another variation of Shalabalasana. So if possible, you're going to interlace the fingers of the hands together in the back. And as we're inhaling, we're going to retract the shoulder blades, get the chin off the ground, and squeeze the glutes, squeeze the lower back, and squeeze the shoulder blades together in Shalabalasana. Let's hold for a few breaths here. Big inhale through the belly. Feel yourself getting off the ground slightly more. Try to stay there with me. And exhale, slowly drop the hands. Turn your head over towards the right. Drop the head on the mat. Allow the shoulder blades to relax fully. Let's take 2 deep breaths here together. Finally, bring the head back to neutral. On apporte la tête vers le centre du tapis. And we're going to transition into bow pose. If this is too much for you, you can simply go back to your Shalabalasana with hands extended forward or hands behind the back. Donc, for bow pose, we're going to bend both knees. We're going to grab here both feet on either side. We're going to place the chin down, and as we inhale, we're going to bring the chest off the ground, retract the shoulder blades, and pressing into those feet, we're going to be pulling at the hands, trying to get the chest off the ground and the knees off the ground as much as possible. And exhale, bring it down, but keep the hands on the ankles. That was our first round. Take deep breaths here. Second time, inhale, bring it up. Donc, pour cette pause-ci, on va garder les omoplates collées ensemble. On essaie de pousser avec les pieds, rétracter les omoplates et on essaie d'apporter la poitrine et les genoux le plus haut par rapport au tapis que possible. Et on expire, on redescend. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Take your time here. Reconnect with the breath. And get ready for a third and final attempt at the bow pose. Now that we're nice and warmed up, you can see if you can go a little bit higher, if that's within your intention you set for yourself at the beginning of the class. So grabbing both feet, une troisième et dernière fois, et réfléchissez sur votre intention que vous avez sélectionnée au début du cours, voir si on peut aller légèrement plus haut cette fois-ci. Inhale it up, on inspire, on monte. So press the legs, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lower the shoulders, engage the quads. Keep breathing, find stillness in the pose. And exhale and expire, on redescend. Place the hands under the shoulders and press yourself back into child's pose. If you want to grab some water, now is a good time as well for that. Once again, for Balasana or Child's Pose, if you wish to focus on the lower back, I would advise to place your knees closer together. You can even keep the hands next to the body, allowing the shoulder blades to come forward fully, and placing the forehead down on the ground. If you wish to focus more on the inner thighs, I would advise to bring the knees mat width apart, allow the toes to touch, then completing the same with the forehead on the ground, with hands next to the body, or out in front, add a bit of stretch in the shoulders. And take some moment here to bring the awareness back to the breath, deepening each inhale, making sure we're not completing shallow breaths, but we're really breathing with the diaphragm, allowing for the maximal amount of air to come into the lungs, and then controlling the exhale. Donc si on veut plus porter attention et étirer la région du bas du dos, on garde les genoux ensemble dans notre position Balasana. Et si on désire plus étirer l'intérieur des cuisses, on garde les genoux bien larges, largeur du matelas. Et au niveau des épaules, on peut soit garder les bras le long du corps, ou si on désire étirer les épaules, on garde les épaules et les mains vers l'avant. Good. Inhale, come on back up. And finally, let's have a seat. Move into Dandasana. Dandasana, sitting down with both legs extended. Sitting tall, bring the crown of the head to the ceiling. We're going to move into boat pose or Navasana. So for boat pose, let's grab the back of our thighs or hamstrings. And for this one, everyone is going to keep their shoulders low, puff the chest up, keep the chin parallel to the ground, start to lean back, and if you can, you're bringing one leg up. If you can, you're bringing both legs up, parallel to the ground, and finally extending both arms out in front to find boat. So make sure your abs are contracted, chest is up, we're not caving down, shoulders are down, away from the ears, pointing the feet forward. If it's too much, you can simply drop the feet, keeping them on the ground. If not, you're staying with me here, finding your stillness in Navasana, finding the strength through the core, hips, lower back area. Breathing here, enjoying the nice relaxation on the shoulders compared to the other poses. And as we come out of boat, we're slowly going to extend the legs out forward, keeping the abs in, and finally dropping all the way down to our mats. Let's bring both feet close to the glutes, as close as possible. Hands are on the ground. Inhale, find your bridge. And as we're breathing here in bridge, I'd like to highlight the importance of squeezing the glutes, pressing through the entire feet. So we're engaging the quads here, we're pressing up as well. And finally, we're keeping the shoulders low and relaxed. Take a big inhale, squeeze the glute, press into the ground, rise the hips up. As you're exhaling, you're keeping your hips right where they are. Another big inhale, squeeze the glutes, bridge up, bring it up, up, up. Exhale, slowly keep the hips there. And final one, inhale, press up, up, up. And as you exhale, slowly drop the hips all the way down. We're going to grab the back side of our legs and let's move a few times, rolling up and rolling back. Bring it back and forwards. We're rolling the lower back here, increasing body awareness, keeping it playful as well. Notice you have to extend the knees to go back and flex the knees to come up. One more time. And come back up to Dandasana. We'll do this one more time here. Donc la position du bateau, Navasana. On va tous prendre nos cuisses, les ischio-jambiers là, derrière les cuisses. On garde les épaules basses, loin des oreilles. On garde le menton aligné avec le sol. Et finalement, on apporte la poitrine vers l'avant, le dos bien droit. Et c'est parti. Position du bateau, Navasana. On apporte les tibias, les jambes parallèles au sol. Finalement, on lâche les cuisses. Et si possible, on reste dans la position du bateau comme ceci, en regardant vers l'avant. On garde la poitrine vers le plafond, les épaules basses, loin des oreilles. Et on trouve notre équilibre. On garde le corps le plus immobile que possible. Et on sait qu'on trouve notre force à travers les abdominaux, le bas du dos et les fléchisseurs des hanches pour trouver notre stabilité, trouver notre force ici. On reste tous ensemble, même si ça commence à trembler, c'est normal. Et finalement, pour en sortir, on vient apporter les jambes vers l'avant tranquillement. On garde le ventre contracté, le bas du dos plat. Et on descend jusqu'au tapis, jusqu'au sol. On peut se recentrer sur le tapis au besoin. Finalement, on apporte les talons près des fesses. Et lors de notre inspiration, on lève le bassin et on vient pousser à travers les talons, bien contracter les muscles du fessier. Mais on pousse aussi à travers l'avant du pied pour bien engager les cuisses. Donc les jambes sont très actives ici. Et finalement, si on peut entrelacer les doigts et même rétracter les omoplates le plus que possible. So if that's possible for you, you can choose to interlace the fingers together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and bridge up on the shoulder blade. Keeping the chin in, looking up to the ceiling. Inhale, on inspire et on apporte le bassin le plus haut possible. Et en expirant, on garde le bassin où il est. On inspire. On apporte le bassin le plus haut possible. On pousse à travers tout le pied au complet. Et on expire. Et une dernière fois. La meilleure fois, on inspire, on pousse, on pousse, on pousse. Et en expirant, on dépose tranquillement le bassin jusqu'au sol. Et finalement, on apporte les jambes, les genoux vers soi. On apporte les mains, on prend les ischio-jambiers. Et on va faire quelques mouvements d'aller-retour pour rouler les muscles du bas du dos ici. On apporte les jambes en extension pour reculer et on fait la flexion pour réavancer. Et finalement, on revient dans notre position d'Andasana. Excellent. Donc, on apporte, let's bring both feet out in front in Dandasana. Let's start by bending at the knees. Even if you're very flexible in the hamstrings here, pointing the toes up to the sky. We're going to start our cool down. So I invite you to inhale, bring the arms up, overhead first. Inhale, reach, and as you exhale, you're going to bend forward, preferably at the hips, grabbing the outside of the feet, and finally we can start to walk the hips back, trying to straighten out the legs to what our body is able to give us here. And finally, you can bring the forehead all the way down to the knees in Paschimottanasana. So careful with your back. If you have any lower back injuries, listen to your body. If this is causing you pain, you can choose to straighten out the back and focus more on the stretch in the hamstrings. On va prendre quelques moments pour respirer ici dans notre position Paschimottanasana. Si on peut, on essaie de garder les jambes le plus droit que possible. On apporte le front jusqu'aux genoux. Et si vous avez des antécédents de douleur lombaire, ça peut être une suggestion de garder le dos plus droit et vraiment bien focuser l'étirement sur les ischio-jambiers. And come on back up. Let's go all the way down to our mats. Placing your feet down, going all the way down, dropping the head on our mat first, keeping the chin tucked in and the back of the head glued to the mat. We're not extending chin up, chin in. And let's finally bring the right knee into the chest, interlacing your fingers, placing them on top of the knee and pulling that knee up as close as we can to our right ear, keeping the chin down in wind release pose. Donc c'est important de garder le menton rentré, garder le terrain de la tête collé contre le tapis et garder la colonne vertébrale, les trois points en ligne, donc le bas du dos, le haut du dos et la tête. On essaie d'apporter le genou droit le plus haut possible vers l'oreille droite. And you want to make sure we're keeping your left calf glued to the mat, so we're not bending in the left knee. We're keeping that as low as possible. Getting a nice stretch on the right side glute
and the left hip perhaps. Again, focusing on internalizing your awareness, bringing depth into each breath, breathing with purpose, voluntarily, and lengthening each breath here, stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps with resting and digesting. Finally, only keeping the left hand on the right knee. We're going to look over towards the right, drop the right hand down at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale, and as you exhale, I'm going to pull gently on the right knee and bring it over towards the left. Finding our recline, supine twist. Making sure your right shoulder stays on the ground. Inhale, bring the head back to neutral, bring the knee back in, and let's bring both knees into the chest to find wind release pose on both sides. So make sure the back of the head is on the mat, the chin is close to the chest, and simply place the hands on top of the knees. You can gently roll the spine side to side. Gently massaging the lower back. Finally, come back to neutral. And now keeping the left knee in, we're going to extend the right leg out to the front. Donc, du côté gauche maintenant, on entrelace les doigts. On vient passer les mains sur le genou. Et on vient tirer gentiment le genou, on l'apporte vers l'oreille gauche. Ici, encore une fois, c'est très important de garder le menton tout près de la poitrine, le derrière de la tête contre le tapis. Et finalement, le mollet droit doit rester en contact avec le tapis. Donc, on ne doit pas plier le genou droit. Finalement, en étirant le côté gauche, on s'assure de respirer profondément, avec intention. Et ce que ça va faire, c'est que ça va venir stimuler le système nerveux parasympathique, qui va aider avec la digestion et la relaxation. Finalement, on tourne la tête vers la gauche. On apporte la main gauche à un angle de 45 degrés. On prend une grande inspiration. Et lors de votre expiration, on apporte le genou gauche vers la droite. Pour trouver notre position de twist de la colonne en position couchée. Et on s'assure ici que l'épaule gauche reste en contact avec le sol. Et même si ce n'est pas facile de respirer ici, je vous invite à faire de votre mieux pour respirer profondément. Prendre une grande inspiration, remplir les poumons à leur capacité maximale. Et lors de votre expiration, essayez de relâcher toute la pression intrathoracique et laissez
Le corps se reposer et fondre dans sa position avec l'aide de la gravité. On replace la tête en position neutre, on rapporte le bras et on se replace sur le dos. Bring both knees into the chest. We're going to spread the knees apart. We're going to grab the outside of the feet. Bring the hands in between the knees. And we're going to drop the head down. Keep the chin in. And as you exhale, you're going to extend both legs into happy baby pose. Our final pose before Shavasana. Dans la position du bébé content, on apporte les deux genoux en extension, en agrippant à l'extérieur des pieds. On garde le menton bien rentré. So find your stillness. One final time. Enjoy this more relaxing pose here, lengthening the back of the legs, the hamstrings. Final deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can let go of the hand, drop the feet all the way down to the ground, and find your Shavasana, extending both legs to the outside of the mat. Bring the palms of the hand up toward the sky. And finding your final asana or pose. Finding Sukhasana, or not Sukhasana, Shavasana. And as we're in our final asana of our flow, we're finding stillness one more time through the entire body, allowing the body, all the muscles inside of your body, allowing the soul and the mind to fully relax, internalizing our awareness one final time, breathing normally, finding the appropriate rhythm of breath for yourself now. And without any judgments, simply looking back at the intention you set at the beginning of the flow, and simply acknowledging if you're able to stay true to your intention or not. As you're reflecting on this, you're continuing to breathe gently, fully immersing yourselves in the present moment. Not dwelling on the past or stressing about the future. We're simply breathing and connecting ourselves
current moment. Donc, prenez quelques instants pour faire une petite réflexion sur votre intention que vous avez sélectionnée au début de la session. Et sans jugement pour vous-même, simplement réaliser si vous avez été capable de rester avec votre intention du début ou pas. Et sentez les muscles du corps entier relaxés, relâchés complètement. Et continuez à respirer avec une cadence normale, une cadence qui est propice à ce que votre corps a besoin présentement. Finally, let's start to externalize our awareness by bringing some gentle movement back in the fingertips and in the toes. Commencez à bouger tranquillement les doigts et les orteils. Bring some movements back in the wrists and in the ankles. And finally, help yourselves all the way back up to our first pose of the day, Sukhasana. Donc, replacez-vous dans votre position initiale, Sukhasana. And let's close off this session with one final deep breath in, legs cross, chin up, crown of the head to the sky, hands come to heart. On prend une grande inspiration. Et on expire, exhale. Thank you so much for joining another week of Yoga with Félix, Core Flow. Have a wonderful day or afternoon or morning, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Donc, merci à tous ceux et celles qui se sont joints à moi pour une autre semaine de yoga hebdomadaire avec Félix. Plus focusé sur la région du tronc. Je vous souhaite une excellente matinée, après-midi ou soirée. Et on se voit la prochaine fois. Merci, namaste.